Dr. Lakshmi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are we waiting for anything?
No, sir.
Sir, participants are joining now. We will wait for 2 minutes. Sir.
Waiting for audience?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just for 2 minutes, sir. We will start in 2 minutes. Cable madam. Hey, Cable madam, am I audible?
Sir?
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Please start the session. Sir is waiting, so
Okay,
better to
sir.
start
Okay,
now.
sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Please.
Sir. Good afternoon to everyone present. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a warm welcome to all the distinguished guests, keynote speakers, presenters, participants, and colleagues joining us today for the academic session. I'm Dr. Venkat Lakshmi Kancheti, and I have the privilege of moderating this session. We are delighted by your presence and active participation in the online platform. It is now my honor and pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for the session, Professor C.H.A. Rajendra Prasad, sir. Professor C.H.A. Rajendra Prasad, sir, is presently serving as head of the department and chairperson, Board of Studies, UC English. He has earlier served as Registrar of Dravidian University, Kuppam from 2013 to 15 and was on deputation as Registrar of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, Srikakulam, Echerla during 22 and 23. He earned his PhD in English from Andhra University in 1990 and has since built a distinguished academic career spanning over 3 decades in teaching, research guidance, and critical writing. His professional experience includes 9 years of teaching in 4 African universities spread across Ethiopia and Libya, with 2 stints in Libyan universities. In 2008, he joined Dravidian University, Kuppam, as Direct Full Professor of English, where he has rendered a sustained academic and administrative service. His area of professional interest including research supervision, translation practice from Telugu to English, and critical writing with a focus on social, cultural, and linguistic perspectives. To date, he has published around 35 research articles and 3 books. As committed teacher, Professor Rajendra Prasad sir has also designed an innovative course titled Pedagogy of Literature in English, which is currently offered in the MA English program of the university. He nurtures a deep passion for the Dravidian cause, an engagement shaped and strengthened through his long association with Dravidian University, an influence he acknowledged as both transformative and perhaps an occupational hazard. Today, he will be delivering a keynote address on the topic Eclectic Pedagogy of for Multicultural and Globalized Literary Discourses. We are confident that this session will provide valuable perspectives and enrich our deeper understanding of the subject. With great respect and anticipation, I now invite Professor C.H.A. Rajendra Prasad sir to take over the session and deliver his keynote address. Professor C.H. Rajendra Prasad sir, the virtual floor is yours. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Doctor, wait a minute.
Sir,
Yeah. Hello. What could be the problem?
Sir, now good right, sir. Sir, please.
Sir, please sir, unmute your
Sir,
mic.
kindly.
Sir, please unmute your mic, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Lakshmi. Thanks for your patience,
Thank you,
first
sir.
of all.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon to everybody. Convener Dr. PVN Malleswaram, Principal B. Srinivasarao garu, Co-Convener Venkatalakshmi Kancheti, and other members of organization of the conference. And good afternoon to all the participants. Dr. Lakshmi, is it clear or?
Yes,
Clear,
sir.
sir.
It is
Clear,
clear,
sir.
sir. It is clear, sir.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let me clarify at the outset. I am not totally focusing on the topic that you have selected, the broad theme of the conference, which actually reads Voices Across Cultures, Innovations in Language and Literary Discourse. But my feeling is reading is teaching and teaching is also reading. Since we are teaching and reading presently cultural discourses, multicultural discourses rather, cross-cultural discourses rather. Just for the sake of clarity, I want to ask you, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It
sir.
is
You are
very clear.
Is my voice intelligible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Right. As I clarified, my intention is not to directly speak on the topic or broad theme of the conference, but very much related to the conference theme. Since we are teaching multicultural discourses, we need to develop a pedagogy which suits the multicultural themes. Before we further elaborate, or from my side, elaborate and elucidate certain procedures, let me just bring to your attention. Most of our teaching for quite some time, for decades, has been going on in a in a pedagogy without having any standard practices, standard reasons like that. Let me give you one example. I'm sure you will easily agree. Why we should shift from our so-called traditional pedagogy of literature to contemporary pedagogy of literature, which is based on Lee Schulman's theory of education, which indicates in a pedagogy, there must be three structures: surface structure, deep structure, and moral structure. We will come back to this. But first of all, teaching literatures has been here for ages, perhaps. So, normally, raising any question, any doubt about the practice of teaching literature raises eyebrows. But when you go deep into the classroom activity and become conscious of what we are doing in our classroom teaching of literature, definitely we find ourselves that sometimes, if not always, we are following a pedagogy which is unscientific. Literature is subjective, everybody knows, but teaching literature need not be subjective. It can be based on certain pedagogical practices. Okay, now we may raise the issue. What is quote unquote wrong with our practice of teaching literature or various literatures, including cross-cultural literatures in our classroom? I hope my esteemed colleagues gathered here over online would agree. Many times, teaching literature seems to be taken for granted. How can we say this? Let me just clarify further. For example, when we get into a classroom to teach any text of literature, any piece of literature, sometimes we're following a method which may be called subjectivity-based pedagogy. What is this subjectivity-based pedagogy? We teach a text, whether it is a poem, drama, short story, novel, or whatever be the genre. We teach it. We means including myself. Perhaps I'm not excluding myself in this lapse or deviation. The standard, deviation from healthy practice. Teaching a poem or a drama or a novel or any literary genre as we like, as per our subjective opinions. I repeat, literature is subjective, but teaching literature, pedagogy of literature, need not be subjective. So, when we make a small, inquiry, recalling, and introspection rather, our traditional methods of teaching literature or traditional pedagogy of literature seems to have practiced subjectivity-based pedagogy, and worse is common sense-based pedagogy. What is this common sense-based pedagogy? This common sense-based pedagogy is just using common sense and interpreting literature, basing on certain popular opinions, concepts, likewise, popular opinions about teaching, about a particular text. So common sense-based pedagogy, subjectivity-based pedagogy, and another, perhaps time-tested, but definitely to be doubted and challenged, is rhetoric-based. What is rhetoric based? We know very well, especially in the Esther years, dating back to, let us say, 30, 40 years. Rhetoric pedagogy was witnessed by thousands of students in literature classrooms. A professor would get into a classroom, would go on a particular lecture in a more rhetoric manner, carried away by perhaps his or her own voice. Instead of being analytical or sensitized to the various nuances of literature, various theoretical aspects behind literature, and ignoring the stakeholders in the pedagogy of literature, stakeholders in the classroom of literature. So this actually must prompt all of us who are practitioners of teaching literature, including literature based on multiculturalism, which is anyway the mainstay of the contemporary society. All contemporary literatures are multicultural. But even otherwise, traditionally speaking also, literature is always multicultural, cross-cultural in a limited sense. Okay, now, so having said this much, for effective teaching of multicultural discourses, do we need to revamp our pedagogy of literatures? This is the humble question that I would like to bring to my colleagues gathered here. So in that spirit, I am taking the support of Dr. Lee Schulman's methodology or pedagogical formula, which may be called surface structure, deep structure, and moral structure, which is definitely a more, which will lead rather to a more experiential and representative teaching, and which is more participative teaching and learning. Here, just for the sake of clarity, let me ask a member of audience, am I audible and clear to you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So having said this much or attempted to foreground my topic, let me go further ahead and clarify what do I mean by a surface structure of pedagogy. Surface structure of pedagogy definitely, as the phrase implies, it emphasizes on having a structure, a methodology. Normally, most of us are all of us are aware that ELT has lots of methodology, and there are no doubts about it, and various standard methods, approaches, and techniques are there as far as ELT is concerned, especially in ELT in ESL context and EFL context. But my question is, why can't we think of, not exactly on the same lines, but having a methodology which would serve the cause of literature, the cause of student? This is my contention, belief, and plea. So having raised surface structure implies the recognition of stakeholders in a literature classroom. Who are the stakeholders in a classroom, and what is their role, or rather, what are their respective roles? As all of us know, in a literature class, there is the students rather, teacher is there, or the text, and the third one, the text, or let us say theory behind the text, which includes multiculturalism of a literary text or a specific genre of a literary text. So in addition to these three, our classroom culture is also a stakeholder. Classroom culture or teaching learning culture, you may say, So when we become conscious of these four stakeholders, I think what we mean by surface structure will be clear. So at the outset, recognition of the four stakeholders and their participation makes teaching and learning more experiential, appreciative, right? So this is exactly the point I'm trying to say. Okay, now the paradigm shift that is proposed here is we need to move from teacher-centered approach to the other centers of the class. Because as you know very well, when we look at pedagogy, we always definitely come to know that there are three possible centers. One is the traditional center of the class is the teacher-centered class. I'm sure my colleagues here who have gathered would agree. Most of our literature classes are teacher-centered. When we make it regularly teacher-centered, the very experiential understanding, comprehension of literature and various nuances of literature would automatically escape from the attention of students. So a class needs to be eclectic. So as the title of my brief lecture here would suggest, what we need to develop is eclectic pedagogy. A pedagogy which is the combination of three modes. Already the time tested and even time tested in the sense not exactly successful, but a long-standing method of teacher-centered literature classes should become simultaneously student-centered literature classes and simultaneously should become theory-centered literature class. Whether the theory is multiculturalism or modernism, postmodernism, postcolonialism, you give a name, any name, the theory must become part of the class. The theory behind a text must be brought to the forefront. So this is what I am proposing as eclectic pedagogy. Otherwise, all our literary discourses, which are present in the form of various texts or various genres, they have remained as teacher-centered classes. So since literature, I already mentioned one thing. Teaching literature is not very different from reading literature. When you read literature, you experience it. And we should facilitate experiencing on the part of students. While facilitating experiencing on the part of the student, we need to facilitate unraveling the theory behind a literary text. So this is exactly the case and which we may call as a surface structure pedagogy. All of us need to be aware of this aspect. From this, I would like to move on to deep structure of pedagogy of literature, of various literatures rather, whether it is multicultural or whatever it may be. What is this deep structure? Deep structure includes genre-based teaching of literature. As I'm sure most of you agree, though we might not be practicing, that is genre-based teaching. A poem must be taught like a poem. A drama must be taught like drama. And even fictional text must be taught in the appropriate form. So this is part of deep structure of a literature class or deep structure of pedagogy of literature class. For various reasons, at least in many cases, all genres are taught in a same manner. Same manner in the sense, maybe I'm slightly exaggerating, but the fact is, just a sort of a summary is provided. because a poem is unique in its own way, and all of us know in a poem the beauty of language, the play of language, aesthetics of poem, and the capsule form of philosophy hidden in a poem must be experienced. It cannot be simply passed on in the form of a capsule to students. So, deep structure of pedagogy following Lee Schulman's theory, theory of education and teaching. It's not limited to teaching literature alone. I'm trying to extend this formula to pedagogy of literatures so that our teaching, learning, reading, appreciation, criticizing would become more nuanced, more participatory, more representative. This is the point. So deep structure definitely emphasizes on the aspect of focusing on genre-based teaching, including theory-based teaching of literature, because it is almost obvious presently the dominant factor in reading literature, criticizing literature, teaching literature is the theoretical aspect behind a literary text. Because, as all of us know, literature is political. There is no innocent literature. All forms of literature, they are political. Political in the sense, not in the secular sense, not in the political party sense. I'm not using that word, and I am sure all of the August audience are aware of this point. But since literature is representative of a theory or an outlook or a philosophy that needs to be highlighted. So genre-based teaching of literature along with the theory-based of teaching literature should come into reality to make our classes, to make our learning and teaching more pleasurable, appreciative, and even informed learning, experiential learning. After all, the strength of literature lies in experiencing the aesthetics and politics of literary text. I am not prioritizing politics of literary text, but I am prioritizing aesthetics. Since any literary text is a combine of aesthetics and politics. Politics of various natures, various purposes. So in that way, we made a small attempt here to make our pedagogy, teaching and learning, to become more effective. We need to have a methodology. The word methodology naturally, creates a feeling of what shall I say, like challenging, like and something monotonous, like. Need not be. I told you already. Teaching literature cannot be taken for granted. Granted, it must be. It must be made effective, functional, and it should make student to be vocal, to be participatory, because that is the spirit of 21st century literature. In fact, that should be the spirit of any time. So, in this way, deep structure emphasizes on having genre-based methodology of a literary text. Otherwise, the nuances, the niceties of a literary text will never come to the notice of a student. Learning becomes a summarized learning like. So that is what I am fearing. Having said this much, now let me move to the third dimension of this Lee Schulman's strategy for teaching literature, which we may apply. That is the moral structure. Do we, teachers of literature, at any level and every level, do we need to have a moral responsibility? A moral responsibility while teaching literature. Yeah, the moral responsibility is definitely empowering the student. So that is what I am trying to say here as moral structure. We may be very much conscious of what the stakeholders of the class, the various aspects of teaching and learning. But what about moral responsibility? Do we have moral responsibility to empower our students, to make them representative, to make them participatory, and to give scope and opportunity for venting their own aesthetic appreciations, critical appreciations? That I would like to call as moral structure. So, having very briefly touched and made a sort of bird's eye view attempt of teaching methods and practices of literature, beginning with the traditional, conventional, doubtful methods of teaching in the name of subjectivity-based pedagogy, rhetoric-based pedagogy, common sense-based pedagogy. I want my audience here to be conscious of these negative aspects, negative labels which are in practice. So leaving them behind, like a rhetoric method, going on and on our own favorite topic, on our own favoritism, on our own favorite theory. Let us be conscious of the future of students, the interest of students, because they are very real in a class. Maybe it looks funny when we say students are also real in a class, because many times it is an ignored reality. Their reality is ignored. So let us overcome this and move to this experiential, participatory, functionality-based pedagogy, which I am calling as combine of three structures: surface structure, deep structure, and moral structure. With that, I think the purpose of any area of literature, any genre of literature, and any particular field of literature, whatever be the field of literature, whether we are teaching Indian English literature, American literature, African literature, or any other literature, the strategy must be the same. So let us let us adopt this combine of surface structure, deep structure, and moral structure of pedagogy. Thereby, our classrooms can be made more functional, more effective, and more appreciatory, especially benefiting students, and which in turn will further the cause of literature. Since literature is definitely a very important area of knowledge, as all of us are aware. Thank you very much. I would like to stop here and would like to have some possible interaction with the participants.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening address. The virtual floor is now open for the question and discussion session. Participants may kindly raise your questions in chat box. Permission enable change. Participants can unmute your mic and participate in the question and answer session. I kindly request participants to raise your question and answer questions.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I feel my topic is slightly provocative.
We are forming, that's right.
But definitely it is highly relevant. which will strengthen the existence of teaching literature. Otherwise, there is a great threat to teaching literature, since many times teaching literature seems to be taken for granted. Thank you. I would invite the observations from the audience. I did not use PowerPoint because that would be less focused actually. It takes away the attention from actually what is being said.
Could you explain with example? Sir, there is a question in chat box, sir.
Yeah. I couldn't see the chat box. Can you read out?
Yeah, sir, could you explain with example moral structure? A question
Yes.
from Nirupama Amuluru.
Yeah, good. The modal structure is a combination of surface structure, deep structure, moral structure. In the sense, with regard to surface structure, we need to make the class to be aware of teacher-centeredness, student-centeredness, and theory-centeredness. We have to make clear. Imagine you are teaching the God of small things. Just I'm giving a simple example. A very popular text. So in such a class, when we teach a novel, we need to make the class to be aware what is exactly the theory behind the text. Before we go into that, anyway, we will offer definitely the genre of a particular literary text. And then the students need to be given an opportunity after listening to an introductory lecture to be participating and to come up with their opinions, with their observations, with their insights. And so that makes the class simultaneously teacher-centered and student-centered. And then the theory-centeredness. The theory-centeredness is, as all of us know, the God of Small Things is a postmodernist text. And as a typical postmodernist text, it questions the taken for granted historical aspects of India, cultural aspects of India, and raises issues which are to be challenged, even with regard to gender issue, with regard to democratic aspects of Indian society, because Arundhati Roy is making a postmodernist inquiry into the polity of India. So we need to point out how postmodernist technique is effective here. In simple, following the method that I am trying to suggest, we need to show how theme and technique go together. Right. And finally, as assuming that we are following the model, we need to be aware of moral structure. What is the moral structure of any literature class? Is it unburdening ourselves, going in a rhetoric manner, displaying a sort of a verbal overflow of expressions, or facilitating students' participation, empowering students' participation? So this is what I'm suggesting as a model with regard to a literary text. I hope I have made some sense to Ms. Anupama, I guess. Am I clear?
Yes, Nirupama ma'am.
Nirupama, yes. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes, sir. She replied, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Before any
Participants may
other
kindly
member,
raise your- Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir. Just announcement, sir.
shall I say a little more?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue, please.
Yeah, when I discuss or propose this eclectic pedagogy, a pedagogy that would suit different literary texts with the combination of blended mode, student centered, teacher centered, theory centered. I am indirectly suggesting the teacher, whatever be the level, teacher, a professor is a teacher, a degree called lecturer, or teacher, everybody is a teacher. A teacher must be a little bit self-sacrificing. A little bit of self-sacrificing and giving time and space for students. I would also add the present AI, artificial intelligence, would also help students to come up with their analysis. Sometimes they might have borrowed it or downloaded it from AI, but still we can make them defend the argument in the classroom. So the ultimate sense is giving time, space, quality space, and the response or feedback, you may say very simply, feedback, which is normally not given in a literature class to students. We can strengthen teaching literature. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And participants may kindly raise your questions, please. I request participants.
Sir, I would like to ask one question. Sir,
Yes,
my voice
sir.
is audible.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Sir, what training is necessary for teachers to become proficient in with regard to this approach effective?
Didn't get it properly. Dr. Lakshmi, can you help me?
Yes, sir. So, Malleshwara,
Sir,
sir.
Yes.
I just want to ask a question, sir.
Yeah.
How can an ethnic approach be effectively applied in large and diverse classroom? And one more question also I would like to ask along with this.
Yes.
Sir, is it audible, sir?
Yeah, I mean, how could be eclectic pedagogy effective? Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I see. Every class at any time is a diversified class or a class with a diversified backdrop of students. That is very clear. That is a foregone conclusion. But that should not actually deter us going on in an ideal way, near ideal way. In spite of levels of, I mean, different levels of appreciation ability on the part of students, the model can work, if not immediately, but in due course of time. Some students may respond very fast, and other students would follow the model. So the diversified background, the mixed backdrop of students should not become a hindrance for us in making paradigm shift and making the class more effective, more functional. Malesh Royal, that is my.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Sir, Dr. N. Lakshmi, madam, you can
Yes.
unmute your mic, madam. Actually,
Thank you,
she
ma'am.
raised her
Good
hand.
afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Sir, I have a small question. Can you please clarify if eclectic pedagogy can also be used to teach environmental literature, like The Hungry Tide or something like that, sir? Can we use that model?
In
Can
fact,
you suggest a few approaches?
yes, in fact, I already mentioned this. Whatever be the genre of literature, branch of literature, this eclectic model will definitely be more effective, provided you have patience, you have heart. I'm using heart. You have moral responsibility. Definitely, this eclectic method, eclectic pedagogy model, method, system can be utilized in any literature class. But the conditions apply. What are the conditions? Little bit of self-sacrificing on the part of teacher, and little bit of kindness, patience, indulgence. Indulgence, I use the word. Then this will work. Because our students would not come into our class with ignorance, especially at post-graduation level, even at undergraduation level. They are not innocent. What is needed is we need to ignite and motivate them to speak out, to analyze, to be independent. I am sure all of you agree with me. When students come into a first degree classroom, first degree class or post graduation class, they are not innocent. So let us accept that reality. Thank you.
Sir, we are happy that you talked about eclectic approach, how effectively we can apply in our large classrooms. And I would like to ask one more question in combination with the same. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, audible, but comprehension is sometimes not there, maybe because of some technical problem, I guess. Please go ahead. Tell me.
Sir, what kind of training is necessary for teachers? As you said, that it is more important and it can be implemented in the large classroom. So, what kind of training is necessary for teachers to become proficient to implement this approach effectively?
What kind of training is necessary, he is asking.
Okay. For practicing this eclectic pedagogy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Actually, a training is not necessary, but training may be helpful, I can agree. Because what I have been trying to talk, or what I have been talking or trying to share with you is already implied in any teaching learning context. But somehow, because of certain mysterious reasons, we have been ignoring. But training would, orientation would help definitely with examples. Yes, I agree. Thank you.
It's true.
Sir, there is another question. Another question from Tulsi Rani Madam, Dr. Tulsi Rani Madam.
Yeah, please
and the
read
question
out.
is it possible for any type of students to follow eclectic pedagogy?
Yeah, actually, similar question was already raised. Any type, yes, there will be always different types of students, different types of teachers, different types of any profession. In any profession, all professionals are not of equal competence. In any training program, all participants are not of having equal competence, equal interest. That doesn't mean we should leave the healthy practice. That much only I can tell. I repeat, a teacher must have a little bit of patience. And more importantly, a little bit of indulgence. That we are missing actually. That's why I said our rhetoric teaching has caused a lot of damage. Rhetoric teaching. a sort of speaking from pulpit, speaking from high pedestal. That would not work in tertiary education, definitely. First degree, second PG, or beyond. Pulpit, speaking from pulpit, speaking with great authority, likewise. Thank you.
Dr. N. Lakshmi replied, sir, with more diverse perspectives, is it so?
More diverse
Perspective, is it so?
The question is, the questions
Sir,
that we are receiving.
Sir, may I ask, sir?
Yes,
Sir?
please.
Sir, I feel that we can have an approach that allows it to make it more learner centric with more diverse perspectives.
Okay.
Can we also say that about eclectic pedagogy, some part of it at least, sir?
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That's what I thought.
Yeah, right.
I thought.
Yes. Dr. Venkat Lakshmi Kancheti?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I guess this is fine.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Anything else?
No, sir. No, sir. Actually, no. They are just replying thank you, informative, and others.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Professor CHA Rajendra Prasad, sir, for that insightful, thought-provoking, and intellectual stimulating keynote address. Your illuminating and thought-provoking talk on eclectic pedagogy for multicultural and globalized literary discourses. Your insights have greatly enriched our understanding and inspired us to approach literary studies with renewed openness, inclusive, and critical depth. On behalf of the organizers and all participants, I sincerely thank you for sharing your expertise and valuable time with us, sir, today. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to all the participants for their active presence and engagement. Your participation contributes greatly to the success of this academic forum. And yes, so with this, we conclude this session. We hope the discussion today will inspire further research and dialogue in these important areas. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you, one and all the organizers, Dr. Malleswara and Venkat Lakshmi Kancheti. Of course, Principal Sir may not be present there, but I thank everybody, especially the participants and their enthusiastic participation. I'm personally very happy because I happened to watch some other presentations. Yesterday, I guess one, I could see the difference in the response at least. Okay, thank you very much.
So
I wish all the best to all of you.
Yeah, a magnificent session, a very informative and excellent presentation, sir. Thank you, sir. So we received replies from the participants, sir.
Yeah, I would be glad to note them, receive them. When you have time, please share them.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Can I take leave?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And now it's time for transition to technical session. I request all the presenters and session chairs for 7 and 8 to kindly join the respective session links shared with you. Presenters are requested to share your PPTs to begin your presentations as per the schedule. And as you interested participants are welcome to join and listen to the research presentations. And thank you once again and wish you all a fruitful conversation. Thank you all. And the participants are requested to join in their respective links shared in the group. And the links titled session Day 2 Session 7 and another link for Day 2 Session 8. I request the participants, presenters, please join in your respective links.